Alright, NXT. New stories, new challengers. I think that's the best title for this video. Hopefully I remember it. I'm going to tell you this. You look at what happened with SummerSlam. First night, if it wasn't for the ending, it was not great. It was just average. The second night was better, but it still shows a glaring weakness. They have only 2 stories, guys. Two stories. The John Cena story and the Seth Rollins story. It makes no difference about what's going on with Roman Reigns or Randy Orton or Cody Rhodes or anything. They'll give them stories, but those 2 are the strongest ones they got, and that's it. And that's the major problem Silver Lake WWE has. They only now have 2 strong, compelling stories. 2. Just 2. And understand, Naomi has no story. She's just so over as a heel. She doesn't need a story. She just needs to continue to win. I'm just being honest here. And it's not because I like it like that. It's because what Silver Lake is showing us. Silver Lake WWE is what we got. It is not caring. Raw and SmackDown doesn't have great stories. But now you look at NXT. The developmental. The one that everyone is saying is hot right now. Of course it's hot. It's got Speed, Evolution, AAA, and TNA under them to give them new content, to give them things that you would not see on the main roster. Because, as I said before, I don't need to say this now, but I'm going to say it now. What are we really getting for TNA? Nothing but content. And understand, TNA is content to feed Silver Lake WWE. That's what it's for. They may be benefiting to a certain extent, but I'm going to be honest here. I don't believe they're getting the biggest amount they deserve here. They're sacrificing their Knockouts title and the World title, and trust me, sooner or later, the X Division will end up on the day the X Division ends up in NXT and an NXT wrestler, you know that that's it. Because they're not going to care. Carlos Silva made it very clear. All that matters is trying to get TNA to be seen. It's not the point to make sure that TNA feels like TNA. It's just to make sure it makes enough money as a promotion, which it's not. Doesn't mean I don't still love it. I want to make that clear. I do still love it. But that's the way it looks. Now, let's open. Let me give it to you like this. Blake Monroe versus a Kiani Jordan. Kiani looked fine. It wasn't about her. This was about Blake Monroe running her ass away from Jordan Grace, who's in a sling in her neck. Well, not a sling. She's still in a neck brace. We will be getting a match between the 2. The question's going to be, where are they going with this story? Because, yes, we already got a story of them ending up to where they are. The question's going to be, can they give us something compelling before someone decides, you know who it is? Triple H, or better yet, Nick Khan, or, you never know, The Rock himself tells a Trip, put them on the main roster, we want money. We'll get that sooner or later. That's what's going to happen. That's where I see it. Next match. This is where I'm like, I don't really care. Look, Connor and Dixon from Chase U. I finally remember the names. I don't feel them. I know they're trying hard to really make them mean something. But as it stands, Chase U as a concept is finished. There's the problem. When you had Thea Hale, when you had Riley, when you had even Duke Hudson, that made Chase U mean something. But Dixon and Connor don't. They don't really feel important. I'm sorry. For them acting like they're complete morons and Andre Chase trying to teach them really doesn't help Andre Chase. And it doesn't make them look any better either because they've acted completely like stupid morons. And I'm not against them either. It's just the concept of Chase U doesn't feel like it needs to be. They could have just had Andre Chase by their side and could have been their manager and used the... You could have done this. Look, this is what you could have done. You could have had Andre Chase have just a little room, no Chase U, and could have been teaching them like that, like a tutor to students. But when they brought back the Chase U completely, which made no sense because didn't Ridge Holland make it clear that you can't bring it back, but they brought it back as a concept, shows they didn't think about this. So when you see them against Hank and Tank, yes, the match was fine, but the concept between Connor and Dixon with Andre Chase as Chase U just doesn't work. Not for me, who actually did like the Chase U concept. I made it very clear. I didn't like it 100% at first, but then I loved it. And they went for the entire arc of it. It is finished, but now they decide to continue it. It feels wasteful. Moving on. We get Evan Bourne versus Lexis King. Now, you did see Tavion Heights talking with him, saying, boy, dog, you got out, you're fine, and I'm going to get mine. Fine. But then you see this story with Miles Bourne, not Evan Bourne. Miles Bourne. I don't know why I said Evan Bourne. If I said, I'm sorry. Miles Bourne. I'm not Miles. Mile Bourne. The entire premise of this storyline is that Lexis King does not believe that he's deaf. I'm like, really? I didn't get it, and I still don't get it. They're trying to, I know I get it, in the sense that they're trying to lean into his deafness, so in hopes that will give him more sympathy and more of him feeling like he's courageous. Courageous. Oh, what? It's not courageous. Courageous. There you go. I said courageous. Courageous. Like, as a deaf man who can hear a little bit, he pretty much has to fight hard to be able to get anything he wants. Understand, that can only go so far. Now, mind you, you can still keep going it for a little while, but as someone who cares about really good storytelling, you're using Lexis King. And I felt the arc he had when he was trying to prove that his father is not him. That when it comes to Brian Pillman, he's not, well, Brian Pillman Jr., he is not like his dad, Brian Pillman Jr. He's just not like him. That was a compelling storyline that they could have done something, especially with a William Regal. Nope. They dumped that one after a certain amount of time. And now when you look at Lexis King, he feels like they don't really have an idea what to do with him. So to give him with this story doesn't feel right. Not because they're trying to use Miles Bourne's deafness in this. No. It just feels like it shouldn't be Lexis King doing it. Yes. Both of them stomped on each other's ears. Well, one stomped on the ear. That was Lexis stomping on Bourne's ear. And then Lexis getting it right back. Not stomp, but he basically gets nailed in the ear. But now what? Bourne won. What does this really mean? I don't get it. This feels like a dead-end storyline. I hope it's over. Now, Nia Jax versus Thea Hale. Now, let me make this very clear. This is still about Lash Legends and Nia Jax. And you saw what happened after that match was over. The fight happened throughout the entire night until you see Ava, the relative of Nia Jax, because she's an actual relative, said, we will have a match next week. Which I don't believe they should have the match. It should be at Heatwave. But when you take away that, and you look at Thea Hale, I'm going to tell you this. You're not going to, what? You're going to say, but this is what I feel. When Nia has gone up against multiple women that are way smaller than them, in most cases, those women are not great wrestlers. Not all of them. I can honestly say when you look at Thea Hale, who's been very well trained, she's one of the rare few Nia Jax has now put over. I'm saying it right now. I'm not saying that the character of Thea Hale is one of the greatest. It isn't. seeing that she's going like this instead of like this, I can understand why she's doing this. She wants to make sure she doesn't get in any trouble. She's trying to be the bad girl. She's trying to say, Nia Jax thinks she's so great, I'll whoop her ass, even though I'm smaller than her ass. True. Going like this, yes. But let's put it in perspective. If you look at it by a wrestling standpoint, we know what Nia is. Nia is who she is. She's not one of the greatest wrestlers, but when she wants to do it decently well, she can do it. And you look at Thea Hale, who legitimately looked good here. As a wrestler, she's been decently good. But going against Nia Jax was a really good rub. As much as Lash Legend is going to get a rub, Thea just got a very good rub, even though she lost, which we knew she was going to. She did a great job here, in my humble perspective. I know not everyone would agree, but that's how I feel. Let's put it in this respect. What did we really get with Stacks versus Iramura? Iramura didn't really gain anything, in the sense that he's not going after the Heritage Cup. It's not about that. This is about now a triad. You got Brooks, possibly Ariana Grace, who is smitten with Stacks because he's Italian. And pretty much Stacks himself, where he's already gotten his butt kicked by Tony D, which we haven't seen yet, which is good, and Crucifino, which is also good. You haven't seen either one of them. If they're still on the roster, they're going to do their own stories. Give them some time away so the people can get really acquainted with whatever change they're going to make. Let Stacks cook. But in this situation, he may have Briggs and he's going to have Ariana Grace by his side, because you saw Ariana, the woman looks fine. Okay? She is, that is what Ariana Grace is. She's not been a heater before. Let's make it very clear. She's been basically the role model, sort of. The pageant girl, sort of. Now the liaison. But now, could she be a heater? She's got the physical look for it. And she has the voice for it. And she'd also, after all this time working between TNA and WWE, she also has now the ability to talk. So at this point, yes, she can wrestle. But could she be a heater? Yes, she's a gorgeous woman. She got a great body. She does know how to talk. She has a presence with her voice. Now the question is, can she be a heater for someone else? Whether they're in real life boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm not saying. I don't really care. Can it work? This is going to be the question. Of course, the match happened. Briggs basically kicks Iramura's face in, and pretty much Ariana distracts the ref and Iramura by smacking him in the face after Briggs kicks him. Well, basically, Stacks gets nailed. You get Ariana Grace smacking Iramura in the face after Iramura smacks Stacks in the face, and then he gets booted in the face. Face, face, face. There you go. Let me give it to you like this. I want to say this. When it comes to the final match, Paxi versus Soruka for the North American Championship, I didn't really feel like it was important. But here's the thing. I actually like Soruka. I really do. Working with Zarya, you can honestly see they're enjoying being together. They actually are. But here's the thing. Soruka as North American Champion has been bubbly, has been fun, but I feel like Paxley deserved that title. If they're going to do something with Paxley and the culling, they needed to let her drop that title, or it would have been better to wait till Heatwave to have the title drop instead of doing it here. Because honestly, seeing that Soruka retained, and it looked like either who was the one who was trying to sabotage a Tatum Paxley? Was it Sean Spears trying to put the doll in the ring? Or is he Dane trying to stop him? So which one is trying to sabotage the group? Is it Spears or is it Dane? because it looks like it might be Spears who's trying to sabotage by trying to put the doll in there, and Dane trying to tell him, no, don't do it. She doesn't need it. That's a big question. Now, next, what do we get for the back? What do we get for the talking points? Well, I'm going to say this right now. Seeing Dark State had attacked Hank and Tank, then attacked the two champs and the possible challengers, I'm not feeling Dark State in NXT. TNA, I can feel them. They're an outside group trying to screw with TNA. I just don't feel them in NXT. I'm sorry. If Dark State, you understand, I'm not against them. The guys who are in Dark State, I'm not against. The concept of Dark State sucks. It is the Shield and Nexus blended together. That's just how it feels. More Shield than Nexus. If Dark State is going to cause trouble, it shouldn't be at NXT and it shouldn't be in TNA. It should be about Raw and about SmackDown as well. If they're going to cause havoc across WWE, you need to have them cause havoc in Raw and SmackDown. And they're not doing it. You do not see Dark State on Raw, and you definitely don't see Dark State on SmackDown. Unless I missed it, you could tell me, because there were a couple of episodes of Raw and SmackDown I have missed. But I'm saying it right now. Without them going across every brand, it feels like trash. And the only time it really feels good is in TNA. That's just me. Next, Obafemi segment with Devon Evans, Tricky, and Moose, who has made it very clear he wants that damn title and he still wants to get another crack at Obafemi. I could say this. Seeing Moose there didn't have a problem. I'm fine with it. Devon Evans having their match, that's also fine. With Trick. That makes sense because Devon Evans wants to go after Obafemi. You want Trick going after Obafemi to try and be a double champion, to really be the true leader of both brands. That's fine. And seeing that we will have emergence with the one I know is not going to lose, Moose. I just don't see Moose winning. I'm saying it right now. I could be wrong, but I'm saying it now. Moose winning an emergence makes no sense. Moose winning at Bound for Glory, if it's not Santana, would make sense. But that's just how I feel about it. But the way they talked was fine. But I want to make it clear that I see if Moose is going to be the franchise player that he's going to be, he's got to win at Bound for Glory, not Emergence. Not there. It makes no sense. If you're going to have Trick Williams go all the way to Bound for Glory, at this point, it makes sense for him to finish there. Doesn't mean we should have him going beyond Bound for Glory, but it looks like the best option would be there, even though, and I am saying this now, I am saying it. If you look at Trick Williams, and make it very clear, I really loved Trick Williams because I called it. No one saw anything from Trick. No one cared about Trick. I was the one who said it. As far as I can tell, I'm one of the few or the only one who said Trick has something. He just needs to work on showing he can go in the ring. He's got the look. He's got the voice. He's got the gift for gab. He's got the charisma. He just needs to go in the damn ring. And honestly, he's proved it. And seeing this, knowing that he is holding the TNA title, it feels like it's a prop around his waist. I'm being honest. You guys can tell me below. I still love him as champ, but it still feels like he's not a champion. He's a guy who's champion who has a prop as a belt. And it's not his fault. It's TNA's fault because of how they're being treated by WWE. It just feels like it. I'm not saying they're being 100% treated bad, but you guys know what I've stated. Look at TNA and how they're being booked and how they're presented on WWE TV. Yes, Bound for Glory has been announced, but it still feels like TNA is really still getting the short end of the stick here. I'm just saying it. Now, what else can I talk about here? Let me give it to you like this. The overall show wasn't bad. We got new challengers. which is fine. We got a nice Ricky Saints interview, which was good. We did get a good segment in the ring when it came to Bafemi, it came to Evans, as well as Trick and Moose himself. I didn't have a problem with it. It all seemed to be good. It's good challenges, and I forgot what I said. Oh, new stories and new challenges. Let's put it like that. It's not bad, but that's just me. Peace. And you should be seeing the next Gum Goodness tomorrow. Now, I think I got something to do, so maybe upload it late in the day or near night because I got something to do in the morning. But either I think it should be in the evening or afternoon. Peace.